So if I launched a small business tomorrow, what initial social media strategy would you recommend to help me get noticed? And obviously, a lot of this is going to depend on the type of business, but let's try to be somewhat general with it. And Julie, why don't we start with you, and then we'll go to Liz, and then Chris.
For sure. I think what you have to do is identify who your customer is, and therefore where you should be spending your time and how much you want to allocate to that, because it's better to be in one or two places and do it very well than to really be everywhere and jump on the newest trend here and there and really do a poor job in all places because you didn't really have the time spent. So it's, again, going down to identifying who that key consumer is or your customer that you want to speak to, and where you think that that message will resonate best, because context of where you're spending time is also important. So I think really identifying how much time do I have and where is really optimally the best environment, and start there.
Okay. Liz?
And the best environment could be email, not Twitter. I mean, email or the telephone or whatever. Thank you for saying start with the customer. It doesn't happen often enough. Yeah, you really have to start with the customer, and a lot of times we, go chasing after the people who are ignoring us instead of asking and loving the people who love us already. Start with the people right next to you and ask them where they are. They're already on Twitter, they're already on Facebook. Ask them where they want to be with you. Is a great place to start a strategy, but it's likely to be on Twitter or Facebook or LinkedIn for most businesses.
Right. And when you say the people next to you, you mean the people that you're working with?
The people who already love you, the people who work with you, the people who are around your business who are already making it thrive.
Right. Okay. Chris?
Yeah, I wish I knew the answer to that question as a small business owner myself, with a, not necessarily a distinct social media strategy, or certainly not something that we call it a, let's talk about our social media strategy. Because there's so much variation and in what is the small business market, it's absolutely different for everyone, and it needs to be looked at from the perspective of what it is you do. And again, those sorts of goals, I find it challenging myself because we sit in the startup world, the tech startup world, and do a lot of that sort of work, which has a set of best practices, if you can call them that at this point, around how you might use social media, and a very specific type of customer base. And then, the other small business owner that's opening a coffee shop or something in the retail space is going to have a very different set of objectives and a different way to do that. So my advice typically is to start small and not try to kind of boil the ocean that way, and look at it from the perspective as we've all said so far, is connect with your customers, whoever they might be, and do it in a real, genuine way. And then you'll start to get some information from that and see where that takes you.
So did you do that with your own business, or did you have a bit more of a haphazard sort of strategy? And if you could do it again, you would do it more that way?
Definitely have a haphazard strategy that, I can't really call that a strategy. We're doing it in a haphazard manner,
Sure.
But we're starting to get more intelligent about that. But everyone that runs a small business knows it's unless you're big enough to get to the point where you've got someone that is dedicated to doing that, there's almost no other way to do it. So you kind of do the best you can, but you need to be thinking about it, and you need to be allocating some time towards that, even if it's as simple as, rather than just tweeting randomly, for my business, I'm going to, I read lots of information, I curate good information that my customers care about. I'm going to schedule 20 tweets over the course of the week rather than sending them all at midnight when I'm in bed reading. Think things through in that very simplistic way. It's actually helpful. It means it gets to more people, and it seems like you're more active in the social world in that sense.